Welcome to another new episode of the Declutter Me podcast with myself, Shelina. I hope you're well and having a lovely week. So this week it was announced that Dubai would be introducing a 25 fil charge for use of for single use of plastic bags from the 1st of July 2022. This is only for Dubai so far, so it could be for the other Emirates before the 1st of July, but there hasn't been any announcement. Now, if you're in the UK or Scandinavia, you might think, blimey, you're a bit late to the game, right? You know, because they've been doing this in the UK for years, and I know in Scandinavia even longer. But yeah, at least it's a start, right? So there have been initiatives in certain supermarkets and stores to stop the use of single use plastic bags. So I know Waitrose here charged for bags for a while, but then people were complaining. Also in Carrefour in certain areas as well, and people complained. I mean, this is how ridiculous it is. But now it's become a law. So, you know, you have to start paying. Which is great. I mean, I've been using reusable bags for a while, and in certain supermarkets like Lulu, there are special tills if you use reusable bags, and they're always shorter. So I always go there. So I always go to the queues that are shorter, or use the scanning things so that scan and go kind of application so that I don't have to queue, because I hate queuing, especially now post COVID. I don't want to be near people in crowds waiting in lines with people not wearing masks properly. It drives me insane. So anyway, back to what we're talking about today, which is reusable bags v plastic bags. So and I know a lot of clients and followers, you know, you go to the supermarket and then you go, oh my God, I forgot the bag. So what I always do is ensure that I have the reusable bag in my car. So I have a whole pile of them, and of course I use them then for when I have sessions with clients, because I can use those bags to carry boxes and other organising tools to their home. But if you always go to the supermarket or mall and swear due to the lack of the bag, keep them in your car. Mine's in the back seat area so I can see it and grab it when I'm going out the car, or keep it in the boot, which is what my parents have been doing for years. And just make sure it's easy to get and quick to, so that you don't forget to take it and use it. If you keep it in the house because you brought the groceries home, you forget them. You forget to take it from your home to the supermarket when you do go to supermarket, especially if you go randomly to supermarkets. So what I would say is, as soon as you've emptied those bags, go put those bags back in the car while you remember. If it is 50 floors down from your apartment, then maybe not. But the next time you go to the car, leave those reusable bags on the door handle, and just that will remind you that you have to take it with you back to the car. So do things like that to help you to make the process of using reusable bags simpler and easier. The key thing is just to remember to take it with you and keep it in your car, or have one of those mini ones that you can put in your handbag or in your backpack or something, which I do as well. So I have a cloth bag that's always with me to use when I go to certain stores, so that I don't have bags with me. And I don't like having bags anyway. I don't, collect paper bags and plastic bags because it's clutter as well. So I have like cloth bags, which they fold up so that you can put them in your handbag. Another issue I also see is hoarding of plastic bags by maids. So let's start educating them on how to reduce the amount that they're using, and also, reduce the amount of volume in your home. So if you have a lot of them, usually they're in those IKEA carrier things that you put in under your sink. If you have like 100 plastic bags, start using them for dustbin liners, cat litter trays, or as I do, I put my plastic recycling in a carrier bag if I ever do have one, and then once that's full, then I go put that in the recycling bank for plastic. So that's one way to use up the bags. And also we use them as dustbin liners in my house as well when I do get a plastic bag. Usually it's because of delivery from delivery companies. They give you plastic bags, which irritates the hell out of me. So do that, and then with your staff, start encouraging them to use the reusable bags as well when they go to the grocery store or to any store. So the more they start building the habit to use reusable bags, the less plastic will return to your home. Um, I also have those cotton bags as well for the fruit and veg in my bags, in my reusable bags. I do admit I forget to use them, even though there's about 6 or 7 of them in the bag. But what happens is that we have to go to a person who weighs the fruit and veg and then puts a label on them. So I'll just tell them to put it on the fruit and veg or around the stem. When you buy coriander, just put it around the stem so it can be scanned. So it's not the end of the world. So, I mean, and using those cotton bags as well, use them and you put stuff in it, and then you have to put them in the washing machine to wash because it always gets dirty. So I'd prefer just to have the label on the fruit and veg and just remove the label off as soon as I've scanned it. So that's but if you have those bags, they're great. It's better than using the plastic ones that you get in supermarkets. If you're buying online, a lot of stores now give an option to receive the items not in plastic bags, and instead they come in a big box. So what I do is when the big box comes, I empty everything out of the box and give the box back to the guy who's delivered it, because I don't want to keep the box in my house. It just takes up space, and also my cat likes eating cardboard, so that has to be removed immediately. No cardboard in the house. So that's one way to declutter and recycle as well. And so, there are a lot of supermarkets that still do go overboard with the plastic bag usage. So hopefully this law will help that situation, because sometimes they'll use 20 bags for 5 items. And you're like, why are there so many bags in my house? So if they do that, make a complaint on the app or on the store website. Make a complaint, because the more people who complain about it, the more they'll realize that they need to stop this, and they need to get the bag person, whoever puts the stuff into the bags, to stop using so many plastic bags, because it's nuts. Yes, frozen stuff can be together in one bag for frozen stuff, fridge stuff, fruit and veg, blah. But if there's loads of groceries and the different things, put all the groceries in one bag and all the cleaning equipment in another bag, because they shouldn't mix. But you don't need 20 bags for a few items. So complain, and the more people who complain, the more chance we have of them using less plastic bags for delivery. So I've spoken today about getting organised and using reusable bags, and of course there is the greater issue of the amount of plastic that's used in packaging on grocery items. I wish we could solve the issue with plastic usage sooner and in a larger scale, but one thing at a time. For now, let's try doing this and start using the reusable bags more and more often in our daily lives. If you're listening in other countries, you've most probably already implemented this no plastic bag usage, especially if you're in the UK, in Scandinavia, in Europe. Maybe in Canada, I don't know, I haven't been to Canada yet, but I know in the US when I went in 2019, I went to Walmart and they had ridiculously useless plastic bags which were really thin and didn't hold anything. So if you buy a gallon of milk, it would fall out of the bag. The bags were terrible, so you had to use more plastic bags just to hold your items, which was just pointless. They did have reusable bags, but then when you're a tourist, you don't want to get lots of reusable bags. So it's catch-22, but we did end up starting to use reusable bags because we're so annoyed about the amount of plastic bags being used. So if Walmart has changed their policy, let me know. And yeah, let me know what it's like in all your other countries and what you're doing to reduce plastic usage. It's interesting to know and helpful as well, so that people start learning what's happening in other places. I know in places like in Brighton, I know there was a shop where you could take your empty jars and you could fill it up with, say, rice, grains, lentils and stuff and spices, and they will charge you for how much is put into the jars. And so that means that everything's already decanted into the jars and you don't have to use paper or plastic or anything. You just use the stuff you have in your house to fill up the grocery items. Of course, it makes it heavy if you're using a jar, carrying a jar full of lentils with you. It's going to be heavy and plus dangerous with the glass. But it's a good way to reduce the amount of packaging being used out there when shopping. So let me know what other initiatives you've seen, you use, you've heard, because it's always useful to know. And hopefully we'll get more of the Emirates reducing the amount of plastic as well. So hopefully this won't just be a Dubai initiative, it'll be around the whole country and then around the whole of the Middle East, because there is a huge plastic bag issue. There's the amount of trash I see in the desert when I do ever go past the desert, because I'm not a desert person. It's astounding. Like, people don't pick up the trash. There's plastic everywhere. The amount of camels that die from plastic bag intoxication is immense. Like, they eat these bags and garbage that people leave, and it's terrible. So let's try and help them. And I mean the same with the oceans. You know, the amount you see, turtles and fish dying because of inhaling plastic bags. So let's try and reduce it, because it's to help the environment. I bet you didn't think I'd be an environmentalist, right? Like, you didn't think that I would be talking about saving the environment. I do talk about stuff sometimes. I have it in my conscious, I just don't bring it up often, but I do talk about stuff, from a decluttering point of view. But this is one thing it's been important to me for a very long time, and now this law has come into action. I just thought I have to talk about it today. So I hope you found it useful. I hope you're inspired by it, or you're most probably already smug and thinking, we're already doing this. Like, what are you talking about, Shelina? So if you are, tell me, be smug. Tell me that what you're doing to reduce your plastic usage. And leave a comment in the comment box on if you're listening on a podcast player. If you're listening on a podcast player, thank you for subscribing. Share it with your friends and family. Follow me on social media. It's always lovely to have you on social media, leaving your comments. I want to raise the numbers on the social media, because I'm being vain right now in this week. So if you can, follow us on Instagram at DECLUTTRME. And yeah, thanks for listening as always, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you next week. Take care. Bye.